From the gym to the comp floor, you're better with Frog.
My name is Taylor Self and I'm doing drugs. My knee's been with me for a long time because I fucked it up. And Biomax peptides are going to make it better.
Taylor found a homeless man on Craigslist to help him learn how to do this. And they made this video to show you how. It worked out pretty well. The guy brought his own, only partially used needle.
Nice. That's crazy. I didn't feel the needle at all. I felt the injection just a little bit.
Jeez.
Nice.
Your skin is so f***ing thick.
Well, there's a lot of scar tissue there on that side, especially, I'm sure. That really didn't hurt. That was crazy. So we do that every night? Mm-hmm. Okay,
for
cool.
Like 3-4 weeks.
If you thought it was hard to kill Taylor before this, well, then it looks like you don't have a chance in hell now. You'd better ask to see the manager, uncle. Biomax peptides, because Sevi and Hiller said so.
Break and flow right out of the gate here.
That is the manager.
We're on day number 2. Welcome everybody to the Northern California Classic. Day number 2, Bill Grunler, John Young, and some Indian guy, I don't know, Sevan Matosian.
That is the manager.
We're at the end of the second day, and we're shooting for our 2 spots for the ladies to get them to the games. This is the last in-person qualifier before we get anyone to go, and we've had a massive shuffle on the leaderboard. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out over on Competition Corner. That's where you're going to get all of your answers of what's going on. But this is heat number 1 of 2, looking at Pump House, sponsored by Fit Aid over on the Fit Aid Trail side stage. There it is.
Pump House.
Pump House. There was a little bit of a change. We saw that with the men. We took the ropes out. And even though this is sponsored by RX Smart Gear, we had a heat issue on the equipment, which was causing all those heavy, and they were heavy, Cronus ropes to pop apart and lose the handle. So instead of worrying about any sort of safety issue, we talked to Ben earlier. If you didn't see that, make sure you check that out after the men went. We decided to take those ropes out. We are going to have a little change in the action as far as what this event is going to be. We still are going to be on the bike for a 1.5K, but instead of going 30 of those back step lunge wall balls, we're going 50 into that bar muscle up, bar pullover complex, back to the 50 lunge wall balls, and then back on that bike for that final 1.5K. We're going to go ahead and get started with your heat, your lane assignments.
Call the manager.
Oh my gosh.
Lane assignments.
I didn't realize we were over here.
Tori Garcia.
In lane number 3, Miss Tori Garcia. Abigail Bernard in lane 4. Chelsea Nichols is in 5. Kendall Gilmore is in 6. Gabby Heckman is in 7. Kylo Romero is in 8. Ali Zerke is in 9. Sydney Wells is in lane 10. Laura Driscoll is in 11. Alina Ward is in 12. Rebecca Fusile is in 13. Aubriana Montplaisir is in 14. Caitlin Bernardin is in 15. Mary Helen Saunders is in 16. Solveig Hagelinen is in 17. Emily Rolfe is in 18. Rachel Flick, she's like, give me the thumbs up. Rachel Fricker
Call the manager.
is in lane 19. Hinate Montebello is in lane 20. We have Emily Snyder in 21, and Montana Powell is in 22. I thought you were going to have the sound effect of, is this true?
Call the manager. Hey, Frog Grips, NorCal 20. NorCal 20. FrogGrips.com. Use code NorCal 20 for 20% off. Frog Grips, NorCal 20. Use that code for 20% off. Also, right now, 7-day free trial to become a Mayhem athlete, mayhemathlete.com. 7-day free trial. Head over there. It's what Rich Froning does.
Wait, did you say it was free?
It's free, 7 days free. And, of course, RX Smart Gear. I just got a new heavy rope. I just got a new drag rope. Everyone's doing it. And caffeine provided by Fit Aid.
Lane 10, right in the middle of your screen, is Miss Sydney Wells. You see her in the white top and the blue shorts. Laura Driscoll right next to her in the yellow in lane 11. Alina Ward in 12, all the way onto the right-hand side of your screen there.
Yeah, somebody I think we should look for is Rebecca Fusile, and she'll be in lane 13.
12.
Fusile.
Oh, 13. 13.
Call Rebecca Fusile, please.
Oh, we're way down on the far end here.
Fusile came to fame in her last place finish at the Capitol in Madison a couple years back. All the CrossFitters rallied behind her as she climbed up the Capitol steps in Madison, making one of the most iconic moments in CrossFit history. She's a CrossFitter's delight.
I'm a CrossFitter. Are you a CrossFitter?
I'm a CrossFitter.
Now,
We must be a group of CrossFitters.
We are.
We are.
Bill, who would you take just a Sydney Wells versus Emily Rolfe straight up in this event?
I like this.
Are we talking healthy?
Are
we talking
current
where-
playing right now? Sydney Wells, Emily Rolfe, who would you take straight up?
I gotta go Sydney Wells. I think because she's in the hunt. She wants to be here. She wants to attack. She's not just doing the event. Not to say that Emily Rolfe isn't doing that, but we saw her just totally skip out of the first event. So she's not in the hunt for a spot. She's just doing the workout. I think that's a different mindset.
Let me tell you why this is so provocative what John's asking, because Emily Rolfe is a seasoned CrossFit Games athlete, but these movements are more in the specialty wheelhouse of Sydney Wells. So you get the better athlete versus who's Emily Rolfe versus the Sydney Wells kind of wheelhouse lady. Am I right, John, in that analysis?
I think Sydney Wells is probably the better athlete, but the fitter
right.
athlete
Thank
is
you.
Emily Rolfe. The
Even
fitter
better.
athlete's Emily Rolfe. And
Even
Emily
better.
Rolfe is currently in the lead.
If you were going to have something like toes to bar instead of that bar muscle up, then maybe I would say, okay, that would be something where we see Emily Rolfe in there. I would definitely put the extra check in her box.
Well, if you go back to the Open in 25.2, I'm pretty sure it was Emily Rolfe versus Sydney Wells, and Emily Rolfe beat her, and that had bar muscle-ups in it. And she made her move on the bar muscle-ups, but Sydney tried to out-thrust her in the end and couldn't get her.
Okay,
All
but
the
you're
hands
talking
are
about
up, all
right
the
now.
hands are
You're not
up.
talking about an injured or possibly injured athlete.
And Emily Rolfe first off the bike.
Emily Rolfe first off, and she makes her way nice. Now, hey, and I have to say, we saw on the guys' side that the first off the bike did not usually win the event.
And this is Kyla Romero, who's second to the wall ball.
Oh,
Sydney Wells is
Sydney
right there
Wells
after.
and ran there, and I like that. I want to see an athlete actually doing athlete stuff. This is your thing, John. You
Yep.
don't like to see athletes not trying, just coasting.
Oh,
And we
she's
see-
in it to win it right here.
She needs to. Sydney Wells right there in the center of your screen. Miss Carolyn Prevost. Is she trying to make a little repeat setup here? I mean, she's sitting in third place, had a great handstand walk.
Sydney Wells' sister Brooke Wells qualified for the CrossFit Games last week in Knoxville, Tennessee. Sydney would love to go to the CrossFit Games with her twin sister. This may be Brooke's last year competing. Rumor has it.
Oh, it was the headband that threw me. If I'm sorry there, Miss Ali Zerke. Oh, my gosh.
All the athletes
Right
are
there's
at
Ali
the
Zerke.
all the athletes are at the wall ball lunges. No one left on the bike.
Sydney Wells on the left-hand side of your screen. Making her way through. Ali Zerke right next to her. Now, Ali got to see Colton go through this, and guess what? It is a lot cooler than it was when the men had to do it. So these ladies, I think, can actually not have to battle the heat. These athletes can actually race now.
7:46 p.m. Sacramento, California. The sun is setting as we hit the fifth event.
And it's hitting on, the sun is setting on Emily Rolfe right there at the bottom of your screen. She was the first to the wall balls. Have to see if we get a hand up here soon to see where she is.
Do you think that glare affects them at all? I mean, that would suck if you were not in the shade versus in the shade.
No,
when the sun
right
is
now,
setting.
no, man. Well, no, with the guys, it was different because they were getting that sun directly in the face. Off right here on the side, not a big deal. Emily Rolfe right there taking a break. And she's done with her. So Emily Rolfe will be the first one to the bar muscle up, but we have 2 reps to go for
Ali
Sydney
Zerke.
Wells. Ali Zerke is also off and getting ready to start her bar muscle up complex as well.
And we have a couple girls all the way in the far left who are also on their complexes.
Looks like Rachel Fricker in lane 19 right there in the peach pants. Emily Rolfe in the all blue.
And Hinatia Matabello is also on her complexes.
Oh, man. Sydney Wells, though, if you look right in the middle of the screen, is going unbroken. Looks fantastic on here, right in the center. See her up at the top of the screen in the white top and the blue shorts.
Her 4th rep. She hasn't come off the bar yet.
Waiting to see what Emily Rolfe does as far as how many. She's getting big swings by Sydney Wells. I love that. Using a lot of that momentum. And here's what she does. She drives off the top of that bar muscle up, going right into that swing and a little bit of a rest.
You see that little pop-off she does? That little pop-off right there for her pullover. It sets her up to ride that momentum all the way over.
I believe
it's very efficient. You see what I'm talking about? That little pop-off with her hips?
Yes. I believe this is number 9 here for Sydney Wells.
And there's Emily working through it. She's also moving very well. Starting to get a little bit tired. You can see her legs are starting to spread apart, not getting nearly as clean movement. Sydney Wells decides to come down. We have a hand up in the air for Sydney Wells. Trying to see how many we have on Emily over there. Don't see a hand up yet, so guess what? Your leader right now is Sydney Wells after that 10 straight of that complex. Now, we said earlier for the men, whoever got to the wall balls first was probably going to be your leader because you just can't make up a lot of time.
Emily Rolfe's got 4 left. Emily Rolfe's got 4 left, and same for Sydney. We're in a dead heat right now between Emily and Sydney.
Now, Sydney, okay, a little bit of a work there, but she's still getting a lot of great momentum. Now, Emily came down. Sydney Wells not coming down. There's 2.
Dude, get through it, girl.
Sydney is down to her final complex right there. Here's her last bar muscle up. And then she finishes her big swing to get into that pullover, and she is done.
Oh, is
Emily
that, I don't
Rolfe
know.
has 2 to go, and Emily Rolfe has the 1 now. So your first athlete to get to the med ball, to the wall ball, is going to be Sydney Wells as she gets started there.
And Emily just finished. So Emily will be your second woman on to the wall balls. Sydney Wells has about a 5 wall ball lead on Emily Rolfe.
And didn't we notice with the men's heats that the first person to the second set of wall balls
always won?
Yep. And so they've been pretty much tied at the wall balls, correct?
That was kind of a long, yes, that's true. However, that was a pretty decent break the City just took, and it was only after about 10. So, again, 50 reps. You still know that you need to get on that bike and get after it on that bike. You're not going to be able to make up a whole lot of time if you're trying to catch someone, but you can definitely lose a lot of time if you decide to take a lot of breaks.
Emily Rolfe is chewing off a huge set right now. She has yet to break. We saw Sydney break once.
Broke again right there.
Sydney broke again. Emily did. This is our first break for Emily. Let's see how long it is, Bill, because Sydney's got to go, man.
Sydney has to do this.
Now also. Emily's breaking now also.
And they did. The difference is that Sydney took a knee basically on that, trying to take a little bit more. So she's a little bit more tired. Actually, a lot more tired if you're presenting that way.
And Sydney's wall balls look much smoother than Emily's, but Emily did 20 in a row, and it looks like Sydney's chewing off 10s.
Sydney takes a break.
And I think Sydney's doing 10 and drop, 10 and drop.
Which is fine, but you need to be very smart. Ooh, is that a no rep? Oh, that was a no rep for the bar muscle complex. Right there, you can see Emily is also struggling here, taking that elbows on the knee shot. Sydney Wells back to action. Emily picks up the ball. She's back to work. Waiting for a hand to go up between Sydney and Emily. Don't see anything yet. Sydney holding true to that cadence of doing sets of 10. Allie Zerke right there working on her complex. Looks like she has 1 left to go before she can get to the wall ball.
Emily Rolfe's got 10 wall balls left. 10 wall balls left. We're waiting on a hand to go up for Sydney.
Hand goes in the air for Miss Sydney Wells with 5 remaining. There literally will be about 2 reps in between these ladies. 5, 3 reps, 4 reps for Emily.
Head on over to frogrips.com. NorCal 20 for 20% off.
Sydney Wells with 2 reps remaining.
Oh my gosh! Emily Rolfe is done.
Emily's getting on the bike.
We got a heated battle right here.
Sydney Wells runs to the bike. Our 2 leaders. Sydney Wells right there in the top.
Emily
Rolfe down at the bottom in the blue, but she's not alone. In lane 20 is Henete Montebello.
Emily Rolfe has about a 40-meter lead on Sydney Wells right now, about 40 meters. Sydney Wells is adjusting her damper.
Yeah, go big.
Dude, Emily looks so smooth on her cadence. It looks like she could hold that forever.
Taylor Self with a steady camera hold on Sydney Wells.
We don't want you to hold on forever. This is the time where to put it down right now, right? This is a sprint. It was not the sprint in the first part. On the open, this is the cash out. This is the race right now. Looking up at the top, you talked about Emily Rolfe and the positioning on what you should have here on the bike. You can see that her elbow's down. She's trying to tuck into that. Not that it really does a whole lot to be aerodynamic right now, but I understand the push out of that. Emily in the blue, right in the middle of your screen.
It'd be cool if we could see Sydney if those 2 judges would just move. There we go, boys.
Kyla Romero up at the top of your screen or the center of your screen with Sydney Wells right down to the right. Waiting to see if we have any hands go up or whose will go up first. Again, Emily Rolfe and Sydney Wells basically got to the bike at about the same time.
Emily had about a 40-meter lead. Like, she had about 5 seconds on the bike.
Those are some big drives, though, by Sydney. Look at that power piston leg working there. Whereas Emily's just doing more like she's spinning.
It's always going to be faster to look like Emily, though, than Sydney. Now, I don't know. We don't know the paces, but traditionally, that's always going to be faster, the way Emily looks than the way Sydney looks.
Well, now, we did watch earlier with Max Craig in there. He was
had a
actually
lead, though.
hammering
He had a
really
lead.
hard.
Krieg?
Correct. Max Krieg.
Max Krieg. Waiting for a hand. Don't say anything yet. Looking to see who's going to
Emily's
go.
got a hand in the air.
Up in the air for Emily Rolfe. That means 500 meters to go for her. No hand yet up for Sydney.
And
Sydney gets
Sydney's
a hand
got
up
a hand
in the air.
So it's about a 50-meter lead now for Emily, and I just don't think that's going to be close
she's not going to
now.
be able to catch that. Ooh, a beautiful split screen. I like that. Look at the high
Wow,
tech.
when did we get that, guys?
This event brought to you by RX Smart Gear. RX Smart Gear.
300
got
meters.
It's 3 to 4. 3 to 4 right now.
Still holding it that 300 meter for Emily Rolfe on the right-hand side of your screen in the all blue. Sydney in the white top.
200 meters to 300 meters. They're sticking at about the same pace.
Sydney's not really going to be able to catch it, but she really wants to hold that position. The thing is, she doesn't know where she is. Now, Emily Rolfe has 100 meters remaining on her bike. We still have our time.
And Emily
that we're
is
working
done.
on. Emily comes on in across the finish line.
Look at Laura
And
Driscoll's.
as she comes across,
Look at Laura Driscoll's left
there goes
knee.
Sydney Wells with 100 meters left.
Look at Laura Driscoll's left knee. It's she's just to the left of Sydney Wells.
I don't know, I'm watching a race right now, Sevan. I'm watching a race right now.
Emily's done, or Sydney's done.
Sydney's in.
Get Bryson Cam.
Looking for, what is that?
19.
Rachel Fricker comes across.
Dude, Sydney
Oh, I'm sorry,
is
that's Hinate Montebello in lane 20.
roasted.
Yeah, Sydney's on her back on the concrete. She is burnt.
She is done.
She went for it.
On a very unofficial time to beat right now is 12:05.
Sydney won the last event,
Go to Bryson Cam.
the handstand pirouette event, didn't she?
Right there,
no,
Caitlin Bernardin in the black
She
pants
did
and the
not.
blue
She
top.
got third.
You talked about spinning fast. It looks like she's riding in first gear right now.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I don't know if I would go that slow. I'd want to get a little bit more on there. But if you look over here in lane number 11, Laura Driscoll looks like she has 200 meters to go. See a hand up there. Same thing over in
Lane 6.
lane 6. That's going to be Kendall Gilmore. 100 meters to go there as well.
So we got a little bit of a race right here. Also in lane 11, Laura Driscoll versus Kendall Gilmore. Kendall Gilmore
Kendall
gets in.
is able
Laura
to make her
Driscoll
way
gets in.
Laura Driscoll comes across the finish line. Kendall is working.
Okay, Caitlin
Oh, sorry,
Bernardin.
Caitlin Bernardin is spinning right there with a
400
hand up
meters
in the air. Man, again, I just don't know if I would go be racing in first gear. Allie Zirk, you can see up at the left-hand side of
Hey.
your screen there, we have 300 meters to go.
Over here in lane 7, I think it's Gabby Hechtman's got 200 meters left. 200 meters for Gabby Hechtman. I think she'll be the next one to come in, Gabby Hechtman.
Gabby Heckman right there in the aqua top and the gray shorts.
And then we
With
got
a single finger up in the air. I also see that for
Allie
Allie
Zirke.
Zirke with 100 meters left.
Allie, stay on Taylor Cam.
Caitlin Bernardin. Allie comes across.
Go to Bryson.
Caitlin Bernardin with the 100 meters.
and
She comes
Caitlin
across.
Bernardin gets in.
Twenty seconds remaining. Lane 16. Mary Helen Saunders. It looks like 200 meters remaining.
We have a
Taylor Cam.
over here,
Tori Garcia in the yellow top in lane number 3.
and that's time.
And was able to get in right at the buzzer. Wow. So what's our time, D? What did we get on that?
12:05. Very unofficial. 12:05.
All right. Okay. We have some heavy hitters coming into this next heat.
Taylor's going for it.
Heavy hitters.
Prep mics.
We're gonna get an interview.
But it looks like we're going to get ourselves an interview, or we're going to try to get an interview. We might get an interview.
Taylor Self is tracking her down.
And
She
we're
can't
going to
get
get
away.
Emily Rolfe on the floor with Taylor Self.
Who took first in the female pump house over there, or the pirouette? Is that Heckman?
Heat of the day here at the Fit-A Trailside stage.
It's going to look like I'm right on you, but it's just a... Hey, Emily Rolfe here, winner of this event. How are you feeling after that workout?
You're good.
Good. I noticed.
I like a good grinder. So.
Yeah, I noticed at the end, it seemed like a lot of girls, they would get to like, 1,200, 1,300, and they're kind of hitting that wall and going slower. And I saw you get to 1,300, 1,400, start to kick hard. Do you feel like that comes from like your endurance background, or do you just have an ability... Do you try to have an ability to hurt more as you get closer to the end?
That's just, I would say, the way Kyle trains me.
Yeah.
Like, I do hard intervals,
Yeah.
they have to be at a specific pace.
Yep.
And
I like to work out.
That's why I die in the garage when no one sees me.
That's my favorite way to finish a workout like that, is when you get close to the end and you just push. It looks great.
Yeah, if you get on the bike with 300 people, like, then it's like,
they start working their way back to the
like,
Are you expecting big things out of the row run?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that. I'm dealing with a bit of a injury this weekend, so we're kind of just taking it one event at a time. And
good.
I need another 4 weeks, I'd say, and then I'll be good. So.
Good. Hey, I hope you heal up quick.
Thank you.
Awesome to watch you compete.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job, Emily.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Emily Rolfe with a great time, actually a solid time.
Yeah,
for this
breaking
next
news,
heat.
Bill. She's dealing with an injury. I did not know this.
No, I didn't know that either. I heard rumors, but I wasn't really sure about that.
But she has confirmed it. All right, we're going to read lanes for Andrea Solberg, by the way, One Pump House. Andrea Solberg.
Okay.
We're going to read lane assignments for the next one.
Our last heat of the last event for the second day here at the NCC, over in lane number 3. We have Carissa Stapp.
There's Alex Kazan.
Looks. Oh, okay. All right, there we go.
There's Nina.
Baltimore starter in lane 4, Alex Kendricks in 5, Emily White in 6, Allison Scott in 7, Elizabeth Wishart is in 8, Miley Wade is in 9, Trista Smith is in 10, Carolyn Prevost is in 11, Maddie Faust is in 12, Alex Kazan is in 13, Hattie Canyo is in 14, Rachel Newell is in 15, Nina Varagovic in 16, Kristen Holta in 17, Oda Lundgren in 18, Emily Ruthwell in 19, Ariel Sanders is in 20, Caitlin Saunders is in 21, and Andrea Solberg is in 22 with Lindsay Lane over in lane 23.
I have some very provocative intel about Trista Smith that I'll tell you in just a second after I let you know that froggrips.com, use code word NorCal20 for 20% off. Also, right now, if you want to do what Froning does, Rich Froning, the GOAT, 7-day free trial over at Mayhem Athlete. Thank you to RX Smart Gear. Trista Smith couldn't do a single pullover in the warm-up area. Her hands are destroyed. They tried to tape them. Now, we know that this should be a great event for her. I think she won this event, a similar event to this last year here at the NorCal Classic.
Yep.
But we are hearing that she couldn't do one warm-up pullover in the warm-up area because the hands are completely destroyed. So let's watch lane 10.
What did she destroy them on?
That is a good question. I asked the same question. They were saying muscle-ups earlier or snatches.
From yesterday? From the first day?
Yeah, but like 30 singles and 30 ring muscle-ups, that should not rip your hands apart.
I can only tell you the rumors I'm hearing.
I agree. Look at all the ladies right there is Carolyn Prevost with her headband on. See, that's why it threw me.
Yeah, no, I got you. I appreciate
it.
From afar, I could see it.
I appreciate the protection right there.
Executive producer Matt Souza on the switcher. Barkley is the greatest spotter in the world. Patrick Rios on the drone. Taylor Self-Sentinel Training and Bryson Del Monte on the cameras.
Alex Kazan right there in the center with that pineapple bun on top with Maddie Fouts in the all blue, that leaning over.
Emily Ruthwell is currently in the lead, first person to have a hand in the air.
If you'd like to hear Bill Grundler every week, if you'd like to hear Bill Grundler, you can hear him. Get with the programming.
Did you? Hey, if you want to hear Sevan if you want to hear Sevan, you can barbell. Get with the Sevan program.
Get with the program.
Put your hands going in the air for our athletes as they are getting through their warm up, their buy-in into this last event of day number 2, waiting to see who is going to be our first athlete to our back step lunge wall balls for a set of 50.
The strongest commentator in the CrossFit space is John Young. You can learn, like John Young, go to JY Barbell to learn how to get strong.
Thank you, Sevan.
Emily Rethwell over in lane 19 is off, but she's not alone.
Ariel
Sanders is with her.
Then a whole slew of girls finished about 5 seconds within that.
You can see Alex Kazan right there in the right-hand side of the screen in the middle, and I don't even want to call who's next because that's everybody. Everybody's coming off, except for Hattie Canyo.
No, Hattie Canyo's right there. She's right next to Alex.
Okay, so Trista Smith's hand is taped up. Trista Smith in lane 10, her hand is taped. Her left hand is compromised.
Now, I'm interested to see if any of these girls break these up because we've seen the last 50 wall balls be devastating to pretty much everybody. Nobody's just taken off in the last set of wall balls.
Well, and I don't think, well, the last set, you're right, but we have to see what they're going to do here. And I think that they will break up. Saw the tape there that Sevan was talking about, that blue hand grip on Trista's hand. Ariel Sanders right there in the pink top with the break, taking a break in the action.
Hattie Canyo takes a quick break and gets right back on it.
Now you got Gazan.
Gazan is not taking a break.
There's Gazan right there in the long leggings. Hattie Canyo right next to her in the teal bottoms and the white top on the left.
Dude, Hattie looks like she's got a great rhythm with her feet. She looks like she's just dancing. You see people with doing pistols, and they just look like they're dancing. That's what she looks like with the lunges. It's just very, very smooth.
And these are very quick breaks that Alex Kazan is taking. See a nice break there by Hattie Canyo. Maddie Futz in the blue all the way on the right, working through some pretty big sets too. Nice easy break there for her.
All right, we got a hand in the air.
The temperature is
I believe Emily Rethwell over there with a hand in the air.
The temperature on the floor has dropped about 10 degrees here.
Emily Rethwell coming through.
Alex Kazan is also done. First one on the bar is Alex Kazan.
Now, John, one of the things you were talking about earlier was that you thought that this would be an event that Alex could win if she wanted to. With that time that Emily put up, what do you think it's so far as we're about the midway part of this event?
I feel very good about Alex Kazan.
Moment of truth for Trista Smith as she approaches the bar.
Wow, that's a crazy drone shot. I like that one, Rios. Nice job. I like that.
Does that have a zoom-in function, that shot? Does that have a zoom-in function? Or you see like 5 of them?
Alex Kazan with a miss on her pullover.
She got it.
But that was still a miss. I was shocked that there would be any of that because look at how easy that bar muscle-up is.
Trista Smith done 2 in a row.
Hattie Canyo
also
right
looks
next to her.
Very smooth. Little long pause, though, at the top.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, this is not the classic bar muscle up where they're not going to let you rest up top. It is a complex, not that you have to do it unbroken. These athletes are doing it unbroken, though, which is a smart move for sure.
We got a break from Hattie and Alex. Both of them are breaking right now. We're waiting for the first hand in the air for these.
Great view of those lane lines. That's Alex Kazan in lane 13, right there in the all black. Hattie Canyo right next to her, making her way through.
Looks like Trista's going to try to go unbroken. Hand can't be bothering her that much.
Yeah, I think your intel was wrong.
Hand is taped. I'm going to take some credit.
That's okay. It's just a little boo-boo because she's killing. Look at that.
It doesn't look like it's hindering her
Trista Smith with that big swing. You can see her in the maroon shorts and the white top. Big bar muscle up right there.
Carolyn Prevost.
Look at that big kick. All the way over top.
And Trista Smith both have a hand in the air. They both have 3 left. Trista has 2 left. And Carolyn's got 3 left.
Now, Carolyn and Trista were both amazing at the bar pullover event last year. Trista won the event. Carolyn was 4th in this event. So
Alex Kazan has 2 left. Her judge's hand's not in the air.
So does Trista. Trista's done. Also, Carolyn Prevost has 2, and she's working on her last rep. So Alex Kazan is not going to be the first one off. In fact, it's going to be Trista that's first off the bar.
Carolyn Prevost off the bar.
And Alex Kazan coming off at the same time. You can see Carolyn right there in the middle with Trista right there in the white top. Alex Kazan over to the left.
Trista has about a 3 wall ball lead. Kristen Holta. Kristen Holta is done and on her wall balls.
She's working it now through.
Holta.
Trista already took a break on her wall balls. I think she's going to try to do 10s the way Sydney Wells did it. Alex Kazan looks strong. Carolyn Prevost looks strong.
Ooh, and that's a break by Alex Kazan as well. And she sets it down. If I was Carolyn, Prevost, I would do a bigger set than 10.
Yeah,
Carolyn Prevost. I would try to put people in the dirt. I would
make him chase you.
Yeah,
at this point.
Dick to the dirt, is that what he said?
I would put my legs in the dirt.
Oh, legs
I would
in the
get.
dirt.
I don't care how big of a hole I put myself in. If you get to the bike first, you are gonna win this event. If you're Carolyn Prevost.
That was a big break by Carolyn Prevost. Trista right there on the right-hand side. She's taking those short breaks, the sets of 10 like we were talking about. Alex Kazan puts the ball down. This is one of the things I always watch is how long does the athlete move themselves away from the ball. They step away, they disengage, they're really slowing down. Still waiting to see what sort of a handhold we have go up. Don't see anything yet from Kristen Holta yet. Waiting to see what's going to happen there.
Maddie Fouts is still on the bar.
Prevost's a machine.
Prevost looks great.
Prevost's at 41 reps right now. Looks like she's going to go unbroken. Oh, she's not the first one to the bike, though. I can't tell what lane that is. Is that 22? That's going to be Andrea Solberg.
Andrea Solberg, who won Pump House.
That's right.
Standing the whole way. She hasn't sat down once.
Herself. Carolyn Prevost hops on the bike alongside her.
Solberg hasn't sat on the seat once.
Andrea Solberg, who won the event earlier this morning, is about to go 2 for 2 on day 2. Kristen Holta has gotten to her bike.
That's a big one for Kristen.
Alex Kazan and Trista get on it at about the same time.
All right, our leader again, Andrea Solberg over there in lane number 22. Second onto the bike is going to be Carolyn Prevost.
Solberg has not sat down once. I haven't seen a single other athlete do this. She's standing the entire time.
That's a heavy damper right now, so she's trying to get as much as she can out of each one of those strokes. It's not that far, and she's going to empty the tank because she gets to go to sleep tonight. Alex Kazan working through this. That's a nice, comfortable pace. I kind of want to see her fighting a little bit more with Hattie Canio kind of getting hopping onto her seat right to the right.
Wishart's wall balls look like that ball weighs 70 pounds.
Your leader on the right, Andrea Solberg, still standing, grinding on those cranks as with those long gray leggings. Hattie Canio, that pretty easy spin there. We saw that something similar like with
yeah, but you don't
Caitlin
know
Brennan
the paces, Bill. If you 90 RPMs at the highest damper you can do at 90 RPMs is the fastest power you're going to put out.
Cool, you're absolutely right. And since we don't see what the monitor looks like,
I'm saying that fast cadence doesn't mean they're going slow. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Solberg has still not put her butt on that seat.
Still looking for a hand to go up in the air. Don't see anything yet over there in lane number 22.
And Trista Smith is cranky. She has the fastest cadence by far.
Yeah, but Solberg had such a lead. I can't see her not winning this.
And look at the difference in the cadence between Andrea Solberg. I mean, she is working for each one of those. And again, this is like when you're riding
hand in the air.
Solberg with a hand in the air for 500 meters. No one else left is with her, and she decides she's going to ride that whole element standing the entire time.
What's the time to beat?
12:05.
400 meters to go. We're sitting at 10. What is that?
10:50.
10:50 right now.
Carolyn Prevost with a hand in the air. She's second place right now, waiting for another hand in the air between Trista and Alex.
Carolyn Prevost watching around to see if she can see the other
Kristen
screens
Holta,
up
hand
there.
in the air.
Alex Kazan, hand in the air.
Your leader, Andrea Solberg, with 200 meters to go. Looks like she's advancing a little bit more. Hasn't slowed down with that heavy drive. 300 meters left for Carolyn.
Oh, dude, her legs
Trista Smith, hand in the air.
400 meters for Alex Kazan. 100 meters left for Andrea Solberg over in lane number 22.
And she's going to be done any second now.
She's off.
Sitting at that 11:30 with
Oh,
the
wow,
pump in
look
the
at
air.
that.
She walks across
Carolyn-
as the winner of this event. Carolyn Prevost with 100 meters to go. 200 meters for Alex Kazan and also for Tristan Smith right there in the white top.
Kristen Holta just jumped Alex Kazan. She got to 100 meters left before Alex. Yeah.
Oh, Prevost comes across.
And Holta is in for third. Jumped Alex Kazan on the bike.
Alex Kazan comes in.
Prevost still on her feet at the
Trista
finish
Smith
line.
should be the next one in.
Wow. Trista Smith really digging deep as she's trying to work through there.
Lane 3.
Oh, lane 3
Fusile.
comes in.
I think that's
Carissa
Fusile.
Stop. Carissa Stop comes in. Trista Smith comes in.
$100 meters for Hattie Canio. Hattie's in.
The only girl who's crossed the finish line who isn't on her back is Carolyn Prevost. She's back on the bike, actually.
Ariel Sanders, I think, is going to be the next one coming in.
Look at Prevost go back on the bike.
Got to cool down. Got to cool down.
Ariel Sanders with the limp walk in.
It's crazy. She didn't limp that much when she pushed that gator last night.
Caitlin Sanders comes in. Oh, it's not good.
18. That's Oda.
Gucci Valdemar.
Oda came in.
Starter.
Gucci came in.
Wow, Trista is wounded.
100 meters remaining for Miss Miley Wade in lane number 9.
We're at 13-12.
That's her in the pink top.
13-12.
Elizabeth Wishart comes in.
Nina Vragovic is next in.
There's Emily Wade.
Miley Wade.
Miley Wade. Jeez, oh man. Too many names flying around too fast. My goodness.
Is that Fouts?
Maddie Fouts is in. Wow. Emily Rethwell.
Wow, and came out so hot in the beginning. Emily Rethwell did.
It was a big pick right in the beginning, too.
Lane 7.
Lane 4. Is that Gucci? With 100 meters left to go? Is it? I don't think it's Carissa. She's already in. I think that's Gucci.
Scuds on 7. I think it's Allison Scuds on
Allison's
7 with 200 remaining.
Oh, maybe that is Carissa Sapp. The lanes are throwing me.
This event brought to you by RX Smart Gear. RX Smart
That
Gear.
Lindsay Lane over there. Lindsay Lane with 100 meters to go right there in the red top coming across. Mr. J.R. Howe. Lane number 7 is in. It's Allison Scuds.
7-day free trial over at Mayhem Athlete. 7-day free trial at mayhemathlete.com.
And just for the viewers at home, the first 6 or 7 names beat the time to beat. The first person that came in was 11:07 at Andrea Solberg, and then immediately after that was
Carolyn Prevost.
Carolyn Prevost, Kristen Holte, Alex Gazan. All of those names beat Emily Rolfe. Emily Rolfe was about 6th or 7th in the competition, in the event.
And that concludes the final heat of Pump House over here on the Fit Aid Trail Side stage. 2 days are down. My goodness. Holy cow. For those of you that are trying to figure out what all is going down as far as the 2 athletes that will get their tickets to the games, you are going to have to make sure you check out Competition Corner. We've seen a lot of movement on the leaderboard, not necessarily up at the very top with Alex Kazan. She's been holding that spot and has been pretty comfortable up there. But I think we're going to see a bunch of movement. Carolyn Prevost got a second in that. She was sitting in 3rd place
Kristen
going
Holte.
into Kristen Holte again. What was it, 4th?
I think she was 5th. She was 5th. I think she got 3rd in this event. I think Carolyn Prevost is going to be second comfortably, and I think we're going to get an interview right now with Andrea Solberg.
Also get all your news at barbellspin.com. Barbellspin.com.
Andrea Solberg of the event is down on the floor with Mr. Taylor Self.
Andrea Solberg, you won that workout?
Yeah, thank you.
You did the whole ass bike standing at damper 10?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah,
That's your favorite?
Yeah, I like my quad just stops when I sit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like trying to use my posterior chain and use my body weight.
You know who also does that? Do you know JR?
Yeah.
He does that too. Every time we bike, damper 10 standing.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's crazy. How are the lunging wall balls? What sets did you do to finish?
Oh, so actually my plan was to split them much more, but the last 50 I did 20 and then 30 because I felt that my shoulders were hurting, but my legs were fine.
Yeah.
And I knew that on the bike I just needed my legs. So I did like the complex unbroken in the bar.
Wow, unbroken.
Yeah, because I felt like if I'm jumping down now, I'm going to break too much. The
Yeah.
same was on the wall ball. If I let go of it now, I would just break.
Yeah.
So instead I would just bike even because the bike is where you earn the least amount of time.
Right.
But then when I came to the bike, I was like faster than I thought. So I was like, okay, let's go.
Awesome.
Like just make sure nobody catches you.
Well,
So,
you destroyed that
Yeah,
event. Great
thank you.
job. When did you start doing CrossFit?
2015.
2015.
10-year anniversary.
So you've been doing it a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first CrossFit workout?
Yeah, it was 2015 Open.
Oh, wow.
Well, not the first workout. That was not the Open. But I started just before the 15
Just
Open.
before the
so,
Open. Do you have a favorite CrossFit workout?
Yeah, it's like everything, burpees, handstand.
Burpees.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go.
also, and also like the open workouts I tend to do
Nice.
really well. So.
And then
Yeah.
last question, What's the weirdest thing you've seen in the warm-up area this weekend?
Warm-up area.
Have you seen anything weird? Any competitors doing anything weird?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I've been doing this for so long. I think people I'm thinking they can do whatever they want. So.
Awesome. Hey, great job, Andrea.
Thank you so much.
Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
That is a smart athlete.
Well,
and articulate.
Smart. That's a very mature way to be an athlete. She knows her body so well. She had a plan A and decided on the fly, hey, you know what? No, I feel fine. The fact that she went a set of 20, then a set of 30, it was insane. And then the fact that, we're talking about, have you seen anything crazy? My favorite thing is to stand up on the bike and ride the bike. Okay.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite.
And something I want to pull attention to, she's from Krieger Training up in Norway. They have 6 athletes here. 6 athletes from Norway are here at NorCal. That's pretty. I think Andrea Solberg decided she wanted to do, or Oda Lundvik won the qualifier, and then Kristen Holta was like, let's bring the whole gang.
And they did. My gosh.
And then they're standing out. 2 for 2 on day 2 for Andrea Solberg.
That's a crushing. I mean, that talk about momentum. And one of the things with CrossFit, when you have these multiple day events like this, the ones that might be damage control, you feel so much better when you've had this momentum.
Your home runs.
And so, I mean, that's huge.
Do we know
huge.
Solberg's games history? Has she been to the games?
She has not been to the games as an individual.
Wow. Okay, so this is threatening. And do we know if she did the Open this year?
Yeah, she did the Open.
Okay, so that means if she does finish top 2 here, she's going to the CrossFit Games for the very first time.
That is true. As an individual, I believe she's been
She's
there
gone
as a team.
Yep, with the Oslo team.
Fantastic. By the way, if you want to be caught up to speed on all the CrossFit knowledge, if you are a true CrossFitter, you will follow Barbell Spin at Instagram and go to barbellspin.com. Every morning when you wake up, drink your first cup of coffee and head on over there and get all the latest news. Competition Corner is great. Barbell Spin stays right on top of it, so you can go to Barbell Spin and gather all of that stuff. Also, Hiller Fit on YouTube is putting out daily content from the NorCal Classic here in Sacramento, California. And finally, of course, Dense Updates on the Sevan podcast. Absolutely fantastic. Also, later on this week on Get With The Programming, you can hear Chase Ingram and Bill Grunler, 2 of the most knowledgeable CrossFitters anywhere on the internet. Maybe the most knowledgeable.
I think you're just saying we're old is what you're saying.
True OGs. Bill's been doing CrossFit longer than probably anyone here at the facility.
Without a doubt.
I'd say he invented it.
I was patient 4. I'll say that. Victim 4.
If Greg Glassman didn't invent it, then Bill did. Also, head on over to JY Barbell. JY Barbell. If you can get on the client list, it is long and it is limited, but John Young here has a extensive knowledge in getting strong. Also, have to thank Frog Grips. You can use the NorCal 20 code now to get 20% off at froggrips.com, NorCal 20. 7-day free trial at Mayhem Athlete. After you get your grips, then you head on over to Mayhem Athlete and you get your 7-day free trial and start to work out. And then, of course, RX Smart Gear. Thank you for sponsoring this event. FitAid. I think they are possibly the title. Are they the title sponsor for the whole shebang? Matt Souza, executive producer, is nodding at me.
They are for this stage.
Well, that's also for this stage. This is the FitAid Trailside stage.
And she did go to the games in 2020, but she didn't go to the games.
Right.
Andrea Solberg. It was online. The portion she did was online.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Yeah, well, we don't have people jumping in the comments. I agree, it doesn't count. She's never been in the games as a person. In person.
In person.
As a person.
As a person.
Also,
well, that's
one more.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you truly want care in your coaching and you want to be part of the Cool Kids Club, SentinelTraining.com. Taylor Self and Bryson Del Monte with care, passion, and a good ass whooping.
There you go. Do hard things. 2 days down. We have 1 day remaining with actually 3 scored events tomorrow, so we still have a lot of movement that can happen. Make sure that you check out Competition Corner for the leaderboard as it is adjusted and finalized for tonight, so you know what we will be talking about tomorrow when we come to the morning, and we start off early tomorrow. We have our row run that will be our first event, and I think that what they really want to do is go early so that they can keep everyone nice and cool. For that, I'm just going to say ugly. It's going to be an ugly event, I think.
And it's going to we have a close race. We have
we're going to be talking during the event.
We will be talking.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it would be ugly for me to do that event.
Over at Apollo Performance, we have Barkley with us here, who's been giving us all the stats, the data. Barkley's been pointing to all the people we should be following. Barkley's going to have his hands full tomorrow, trying to pick the winners for us and keep the cameras on the right people. So thank you to Barkley.
Anyway, you guys have yourself a great night tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early.
From the gym to the comp floor, you're better with Frog.
My name is Taylor Self, and I'm doing drugs. My knee's been with me for a long time because I fucked it up. And Biomax peptides are going to make it better.
Taylor found a homeless man on Craigslist to help him learn how to do this. And they made this video to show you how. It worked out pretty well. The guy brought his own, only partially used needle.
Nice. That's crazy. I didn't feel the needle at all. I felt the injection just a little bit.
Jeez.
Nice.
Your skin is so f***ing thick.
Well, there's a lot of scar tissue there on that side, especially, I'm sure. That really didn't hurt. That was crazy. So we do that every night? Mm-hmm. Okay,
for
cool.
Like 3-4 weeks.
If you thought it was hard to kill Taylor before this, well, then it looks like you don't have a chance in hell now. You'd better ask to see the manager, uncle. Biomax peptides, because Sevi and Hiller said so.